truth and sanitized PC speech are at war. You should know that I've chosen sides. I have, will, and will always choose truth. It's the most valuable thing. Speaking about the fiction festival that you see paraded across your media right now, blacks suffer from a collective cocktail of condescension, shielded almost entirely from the disinfectant light of truth. Black culture in the media and at large is consistently allowed to pass off excuses for personal responsibility, blame shifting for consequences for your actions, and history for present. The results can be seen from the smoldering building to the Attorney General's office. If you're black in America, you're told with alarming regularity that ghostly white boogeymen lurk around every shadowy corner. You're told, at least in a not so direct way, that MLK was a fool and that character be damned, color is everything. Blacks in America are force-fed this nonsense, cradle to grave on a plantation of leftist victimhood, and that is the truth. Far too few of these modern-day runaway slaves ever live long enough to come back and sing a different song to the Stockholm Syndrome collective black choir. These modern-day slave owners, the race hustlers, the race merchants, ambulance chase every headline in search of some lucrative race hustle. They force an increasingly colorblind generation to look at everything through the narrow, progressive power grab lens of res uberalis, and they do so purposefully. How do they do this? They enforce a vicious and harsh political correct speech code, crushing professional consequences if you dare say anything they don't like. Runaways who think independently as individuals are lynched and lashed in the court of public opinion, again, controlled by progressives and their media megaphone. They will bring down on you a media defamation campaign more merciless than Jim Crow. Examples of this can be seen in Clarence Thomas, Herman Cain, Condoleezza Rice. Every attempt to conversationally bridge blacks and whites is met with politically correct hysterics and hyperbolic nonsense about white privilege and catcalls of racism and everything else you've already come to know and be disgusted with. I know you're sick of it. It stifles any real conversation. It stifles everything that America is about, which is e pluribus unum. Color should have nothing to do with it. You know who's obsessed with color? The progressive plantation owners on the left. America for too long has wallowed in this stagnant progressive pond of political correctness. It just drowns out, blankets out everything that's good in our society. Year after year, the black, white, race, class, gender, black, white, race, class, gender. Aren't you sick of it? Are you tired of it? Especially African Americans in your neighborhoods are literally in ashes. They were in economic and educational ashes after the progressive policies raped them. Now they're literally up in smoke. Aren't you sick of it? Truthful, heartfelt, sincere, and genuine conversation about race in America is always the sacrificial lamb to leftist power. The Democrats were doing that in the 50s and 60s, and they're doing it again today. It's all about power. Power at the sacrifice of people. Black poverty rates have skyrocketed in the last 6 years. Fatherless rates, again, as a direct consequence of leftist policy. And what are they told? The great and powerful Oz. Don't look behind the curtain. You know the song and dance. Jobless rates run rampant in black communities, and it's not the fault of leftist economic policies. After all, from the president to the governor to the mayor to the city council members to the dog catcher, it's Democrat, 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 Democrat. They're ravaging your cities. There's not a Tea Party member within eyesight, and you're just sold some line of goods time and time again. Race, race, race. Some white guy wants to get you. It's all total nonsense. Dozens and dozens of black children getting gunned down in the street night after night, and take cities like Chicago for an example. 95% of it black on black crime. Worst thing about this bouquet of lies is everybody, including the people saying them, know they're lies. Factless, farcical fictions of the worst kind, and they think you're too stupid to know the difference. The cowards that are always offering you this condescending pablum, they don't say it because it's true. They say it because they think it's safe. They don't care about the real, actual black men, women, and children who suffer under this progressive leftist condescension, under these policies that have for decades and decades and decades robbed your communities of everything valuable. And when they do pour millions and millions of dollars into your communities, it's to abort your children. When are you going to learn that they only care about themselves? They only care about feeling good. They never think about doing good. I mean, these Ivy League progressive leftists that are always spouting this political correct nonsense, they care about media accolades. They care about Upper East Side attaboys. They care about leftist pats on the back. They don't care about you, because if they cared about you, they would do what people who love other people do, and that is tell you the truth. Blacks in America are the solution. Black individuals need to take responsibility for their individual actions. Fathers need to raise their children. Blacks need to take responsibility for their own communities. Blacks need to stop looking at themselves as victims and start looking at themselves as Americans. Stop teaching children 24/7 about slavery and start teaching children about prosperity and the economic opportunities that are right in front of them. Blacks need to stop seeing their identities in the past and start seeing them in the future. Anything less, and we will continue to watch generation after generation of young Black Americans willfully wearing a politically constructed yoke. That progressive carrot on a stick, it's fostered fear and caged potential. Black culture is the problem, and only blacks can fix that. Condescending white privilege charades that you're going to get out of the Ivy League professor who lives in a gated community, it makes graduate students and celebrities feel good. Those bricks are made of manufactured white guilt, and they sure as heck aren't going to rebuild black families and black communities. Blame shifting, political correctness, rioting, looting. It might win you words of condescending appeasement on MSNBC, but it's this truth that I'm telling you right now that's going to set you free.
Raise the path.
Strong.
This is a pirate transmission. Stand by. Repeat. This is a pirate transmission.
Barack Obama's been president for 6 years. What has he done to stop racism?
I don't got nothing good to say about it.
What has Barack Obama done to help the black people in America?
Man, I don't know. We don't know.
What's he done for you? What's he done for you?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Courage, count your thoughts.